Hi, I'm Wynn, cycling instructor, and in the previous video I showed you how to convert a coaster brake into a freewheeler. Now this wheel is terribly bent, and so what I'm going to do is show you how to relace this wheel. So what I have is a donor wheel. This is a front wheel, and before you start you want to make sure that you have the same number of spokes, and you can tell very quickly by just looking at the spoke pattern. 2 parallel, 1 cross, 2 parallel, and on the other side 1 cross. These are the same counts. Okay, so what you want to do is we'll remove the rim tape, and then using an electric screwdriver just for speed I'm going to remove all the spokes. And so from the nipple side, the outside, I'll remove the spoke from the nipple, and then I'll put them in a can, right? And I'll do this for all of these. And so I'm going to stop the video now and proceed to work around the wheel. So I've got most of these nipples mostly all unscrewed, so all I have to do is remove the remaining nipples and remove the rim. And we don't want to make a mess, and you do want to save these spokes because even cheap spokes are worthwhile to have, especially if you work on a lot of bikes. At some point in time you're going to need replacement spokes. So they're nice to keep bundled up, and then you'll have spares when you need them. So the spokes on the front wheel are not the same length as the spokes on the rear wheel. And when you break a spoke, typically it's going to be on the rear wheel and it'll be on the drive side. And so when you do that, just take the spoke off, go over to the bike shop and ask them to sell you another spoke of the same length along with a nipple, so that you're assured that the threads are going to match and that you can screw them back together again. Okay? And then when you bend a rear wheel, your typical notion might be to toss the bike. You can or replace the rear wheel, but I'm going to show you right now the better method, which is just buy another rim that is approximately the same inner diameter as the one you've got, and if possible one that's exact. And so here's the spoke hole, or the valve stem nipple, and you want to match that up with another one. Now the holes for the spokes are not always in the middle. The left side spoke will have a hole on the left side of the rim, and a right side spoke, or the drive side, will be on the drive side. So you want to make sure you've got this correct, and when you do, then we'll get some masking tape, and let me take a couple of pieces, and we'll cut a couple of strips here. Here's one, and here's two. Okay, so we'll line up the spoke holes, and this is a left side spoke here, and it's on the left side of the rim, and this is the left side spoke going to the left side of the hub. We're going to get some tape, and I'm going to tape the two together. Right. So use an electrical tape if possible, because it won't tear and damage your result. This masking tape is a mess. Okay, so this is fair. All right, so now we've got the rims in alignment. So now we can start swapping over the spokes from one side to the other. Start on the side that your donor rim is on. So in this case, I've got the donor rim on the right side, and so we'll start with the spokes on the right side. that'll make it so that when you go to screw in the spoke, it'll match up. Now at this point, when you screw this in, you want to count the number of turns. So let's say we'll go 10 turns. So that's, and so you need to, so when you install the nipple, once you get the screw started, you want to count the number of turns you make. So let's say 10 turns. And so the turns you make need to be consistent. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? So we got the first spoke in, and we'll move down, we'll count down 4 spokes, 1, 2, 3, 4, right here. And then this is another spoke that's on the outside also. So we'll remove this spoke, and by this time some of the tension is off the spoke, so you can manually turn this. So we'll put it into the new hole on the new rim, get the spoke started, and then count in 10 turns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Count down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 here. That's this one. This is another outside. And we'll work this all the way around. And so at this point in time, I'm going to stop the video until I get all of these outer spokes on the drive side onto the rim. Okay, so I've got all of the spokes on one half of the drive side, the outer spokes, moved over. And now what I'll do is I'll come back to the spoke hole here and get the other drive side spoke here that's on the inside, and I'll convert and I'll move this over. It's this spoke here, right? So it would be the second spoke. So I'll unscrew this, and then I'll move this over to the new position, put the nipple in. Now that it's started, I'll count down 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 turns. Now on better wheels, and I haven't done on this one, and I brought the grease too, is before you thread in the nipple, put some grease on the thread. Now what we'll do is we'll start moving over the other spoke. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is this spoke here. And the pattern will start to develop itself. So just work slow and deliberately, and you can get this. Okay, so we'll get this one in. Once the spoke is started, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. This spoke here. So we'll remove this one. Move this over, get it started, then count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? And just make sure we've got everything. Looks like this spoke, we've got one here. So let's unscrew this one. And we should have every other hole in the donor rim having a spoke in it. Get that spoke started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? And then there's this one here. Started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, and we should have every other spoke, every other hole having a spoke, right? And this pattern should be correct. Sure looks correct. We've got a cross here. All right, now we can start moving it over. Now, if this rim weren't so badly bent, we could cross over every spoke one at a time instead of using this pattern of 1 over 4. It's just that this bend is very bad, and so there's not enough spoke length to get all of these crossed over. Okay, we'll continue on with my more complicated technique. So we'll get the spoke started and count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll take this one and move this over 2. Get it started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we'll continue this all the way around until we have all of the spokes that do reach moved over. And with larger wheels, this is not a problem. We can do every spoke one at a time. However, with these smaller wheels, the spokes just aren't long enough. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, and now let me transfer over the last group of spokes from the spoke hole here, the valve stem here. Now this finally reaches. So get the spokes nipple started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we'll get this one over. See, this method is simple. Everybody can do it. All you have to do is count the number of turns that you make and just make sure that all of the turns are the same. And with larger wheels, you can go one spoke at a time sequentially. And with smaller wheels like this, it's a little bit more complicated, but just look at the pattern and everything will come out all right. Get this started. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And since the tension is off the spoke nipples, everything can be done by hand quickly. Let's get it started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 turns. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, and here's the last spoke on the original rim. And let's get that moved over. So you can do this while you're watching TV, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so now we've got all the spokes moved over, we can remove the tape. Okay. And so you can see that by working slowly and deliberately, everything is properly laced. All you need to do now is start adding tension. Now, most of the wheels, if they're a multi-speed bike, will have a different offset on the drive side and the non-drive side. But on a single speed bike, pretty much this will be right down the center. So just when you tighten the spokes, tighten one at a time and just count the number of turns and stay with the right side, stay with the left side. So do the left side first, and then when all the left side spokes are done, then tighten the right side, right? And just maintain the same number of turns. At some point you'll have enough tension, and if you are close to being accurate, then you'll end up with a wheel that is balanced and is true. If you're not sure, then by the time when you get to this end, just take it to a bike shop and ask them to finish the truing and set the dish. And this is a great way of repairing a bent rim, like this one. Hope you enjoy this video. Until again, keep on cycling.